Hey, today I'm going to do a comparison between these three cat water fountains. So we have the Papifeed, this is our Cat O'Malley, the Giotohun, and the Wonder Creature cat water fountain. And I'm going to show you the pros and cons of each of them and which one overall we prefer. So first off, some of the similarities and differences, I guess, are the fact that the Wonder Creature comes with 2 extra filters, and the same with the Papifeed, comes with 2 extra filters, the sponge for the pump and a brush to clean it. And this one, the Giotohun, doesn't come with any extra filters, and the assembly is going to be also very similar. What you want to do is take one of the filters and soak it for 5 minutes before you insert, and this one just goes under the lid, the stainless steel lid. I'm not gonna take it off just because it's gonna spill water. And then this one, if I were to lift it up, it just slides right in here. So like right there, try not to spill water. So it just slides right in there. And then the pump just hangs down to the bottom. Now this one is similar to the Wonder Creature. It's a similar style for the filter, and it also just goes under this top layer. Now, one of the key differences is these ones are both plugged in and are only able to get turn on by being plugged in. They both have like about a 4-foot cord. This one, however, has 2 options. It can be run by batteries, which it is right now, or it can be plugged in with a similar cord of about 4 feet. So the battery option is really cool because it takes 4 AA batteries, which slide in, oops, right there. Sorry, that was a little loud. And the cool thing as well is the fact that it has an option for a motion sensor. So when it turns blue, it turns on for about 6 seconds when there's ever motion detected, so it's not constantly flowing, which is probably my favorite thing about it. Whereas the other ones are just constantly flowing and always on and running. So that's a positive about it because it's not going to constantly drain the batteries too. And then when you do have it plugged in, you have more options. There's a button on the side, so you can have different modes. There's a green light, a red light, a blue light, and a white light. And so there's different options with that. Another thing is this cord actually runs, when you're setting it up, you go ahead and go through the top, and it has this little channel that's separate, so it's not going to get wet, and you run it through and then down through the bottom, and then you can plug it in here. This is where you'd actually plug in that to an outlet, so it has that little adapter there. And then the cool thing as well is the fact that it could just slide in the back like so. And now for all of these, it's recommended to clean the pump every 2 to 4 weeks. And it's nice that the Papifeed has a brush for it, so you basically just take it off and then just scrub it. Another thing I'd recommend is to just wipe these down extra before you put any water in, and especially on the top. And I just did a quick wipe down for them. The assembly process is really easy, it takes like 5 minutes. And then something I recommend for when you're refilling these, this is something I do for all of them, is instead of carrying the whole thing to the sink and taking off the lid, which will have, a lot of these will have the pump attached like this one, so then it's spilling water everywhere and it sometimes can be pretty messy. What I do is I just take a cup and fill it up with water, and then I just pour the water directly on through the lid, and it drains down to the bottom for any of them, just like so. And that's gonna slowly refill it, and it makes a lot less of a mess, for me at least. And so I think it's a great way to refill them. Now, they all show the minimum and the maximum, but I will say this one is definitely the hardest to see. Like, if you can kind of see where that line is right there, but from this angle, it's like almost impossible to see. Like, it's barely visible, whereas this one is also a little bit harder to see, but you can still see. And then this one is probably the most clear, just right there with the light inside. This one is 2.4 ounce or 2.4 liters, 2 liters, and 3 liters. So overall, they're all different sizes. But I will say for all three of them, if I had to choose, I would probably start with the Papifeed as being my favorite, just with the different features, the motion sensor, turning it on and off. Another thing I wanted to mention was the fact that our cat likes to grab onto the lids and try to lift them off. So the thing about this one is it's the easiest one to lift off the lid. These ones he's gonna have a lot more trouble with, especially this one, because it's kind of like indented and he can only really take off that middle section part. Whereas this one he can kind of, if he can get the silk or the stainless steel part to come off, he might be able to take it off. But it's not as filled up as well with water as this one. This one is like a full tray, so if he takes off the lid, it'll spill water everywhere. So because of all those reasons, I would rank it as Papifeed and then the Wonder Creature as a close second. They're both great options, and then I would give the Giotohun last place. It's still being a good option though, but overall, I just think the Papifeed is the best one.